Hello everyone, it's M5. As we all know, the Brawl Days update is around the corner, with Brawl Talk probably happening within the next week or so. It has also been a few months since I've made a balance changes ideas video. With that in mind, I want to go over some balance changes that I want to be implemented, if not this update, then some update after. Without further ado, let's waste no time and get right into it. Starting out the buff list, first is Karl, one of the worst brawlers in the game. Now with Karl, the first thing I want to do is increase his damage from 660 to 700 at base level. This is because Karl is really bad at providing DPS, especially against tankier brawlers. The second thing I wish to do is rework his protective pyramid star power so that it prevents Karl from being knocked out of his super, because this is a big problem for Karl. These changes will allow Karl to deal more damage and, in my opinion, will fix a big problem with his kit, and will also provide more usability to his protective pirouette star power. Next up on the buff list is Squeak, a brawler that is still not as useful as he could be, and I believe the primary reason for this is because his defense against aggro brawlers needs some improvement. The first thing I will do is buff his main attack damage from 1000 to 1100 at base level, as this will allow him to dish out more damage. Furthermore, his chain reaction star power damage should be increased from an additional 10% to 15%. Now, I don't want Squeak to become too strong, because his mechanics are very toxic, but I think buffing his damage will help against those aggressive brawlers who counter him so well, without touching his super, which, in my opinion, is the most toxic thing about him when combined with his second star power. This will not only allow Squeak to be able to deal more damage and to confirm kills easier, but it will balance out the usage rate between his two star powers, as I feel that Super Sticky is by far the better choice for him currently. Third on the buff list is Shelly, a brawler that is fundamentally doomed in terms of higher level metas, and it's understandable to see why. Now, while she isn't totally useless in ladder, I have proposed one buff to make her a little more viable, and that is increasing the duration of her slow from her Shell Shock star power from 4.5 seconds to 5 seconds. This is to match the duration of her Clay Pigeon's gadget. Now, I feel like Shelly's other mechanics don't really need too much of a touch-up. As I said, she's mechanically not going to be a good brawler. She can still be used good if you play her correctly in terms of Brawl Ball and countering tanks, but yeah. So just to synergize better with her Clay Pigeons, I propose that buff to Shelly. Rounding off the buff list is Colette, who I feel like has really dropped out of the meta even though nobody really talks about it. Colette struggles from her lack of a consistent damage output, and there are being brawlers that just serve her purpose better than her, and that is countering tanks. The first buff is that the percentage of HP that she taxes is being increased from 37% to 40% per main attack. Now this change could break Colette, but bear in mind this is just with her basic attack, not her super. Next up is a gadget buff. The additional damage should be increased from plus 1000 to plus 1200 damage. This will help her against those squishier brawlers. Lastly, her mass attack star power, the shield one, will have its shield per brawler increased from 20% to 25%. First up on the nerf list is Stu, a brawler that is still somehow very strong in this current meta. Now, the two changes I would like to give to Stu. First, we have a damage nerf. The damage per bullet is being decreased from 580 to 560 damage per bullet. Now, while this is not anything major, I feel like this will help, because Stu does a bit too much damage right now and he shreds through brawlers very easily. Now, the second thing I'd like to do is a nerf to his Gasso Heal star power, because in my opinion, Stu has insane survivability currently, even after the initial nerf from 500 to 400. That is why I would like to nerf it from 400 to 200 healing. This will decrease Stu's survivability a little and will make him easier to take down. Now, Stu will still be good in a high skill cap brawler, just not as strong as he currently is. Next up on the nerf list is Lola. In my opinion, Lola is an absolute menace to society and needs to be dealt with. First is a small damage decrease from 260 to 240 damage per shot at base level. Now, this is just a small nerf because I feel like the main thing with Lola is her super, so I have 3 nerfs for her super. First, the damage from her super is going to scale based on how close it is to Lola. So if it is right on top of Lola, it will deal 50% less damage, and this damage will increase until you are at max distance, which is how far Lola can throw the super. This will bring it back to its normal damage output. In addition, the super will also have a small health decay over time, 100 health decreased per second. And the last nerf to Lola's super is to her gadget, with the shielding being decreased from 75% to a 50% shield for the 4 seconds that Lola's super is immobilized. Now, all these nerfs seem a bit overkill, but Lola is pretty oppressive in the meta. I had a scrim once where one person on the enemy team went Lola, and we all got demolished. And her usage and ban rate during the World Finals is a testament to how OP she really is. With these nerfs, I hope to not kill Lola entirely, but tone her down and make her more high skill cap than not. Rounding off the nerf list is Buzz, who, after the World Finals, I think slipped under a lot of people's radars. The main nerf I propose to Buzz is a health decrease. At base level, his health should decrease from 4,200 to 3,800. Buzz will still retain great versatility with his super, but he'll be a bit easier to take down with most brawlers. Now, the second nerf I have for Buzz is to his reserve buoy gadget, which gives him an instant super. Instead of giving him the super instantly, it will charge up over a period of about 4 seconds. Now, before I wrap up this video, I'd like to briefly talk about gears. I feel like each gear is not very game-breaking in and of itself, and I don't have enough thoughts on them because they are very new to the game. But it would be cool if the resistance gear also provided resistance against knockbacks, as those are very annoying. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.